So every morning I get up at around 5 o'clock in the morning. I would say anywhere from 5 to 5:30, I get up and I start working. Now, I generally work for about 45 minutes to an hour and a half where I'm just in my bed or at my desk in my room working quietly so that my children can sleep undisturbed. So I'll get that work done, and then I will either go downstairs and make my coffee, depending on how much time I have or if my husband is available, or if he's home and I'm able to, I will just go down and drive to our local coffee shop and get some coffee there. I drive down to my coffee shop, I order my coffee, perhaps I'm walking around a little bit, looking at things, waiting for it to be done. Once I have my coffee, I will head back home. I get home and we start work. The kids have either had breakfast while I was away getting my coffee, or I make sure they had breakfast right before we start school when I get back. So then we start our school day, and like I said in previous videos, it really depends on the kids. I kind of let them decide. Obviously, our dog makes his little appearance. We have a Great Dane, and he's really sweet. So he generally will come and lay down near us or sit by us while we're doing our school throughout the day. But I often start with my first grader because he likes to get it done and then move on to his other activities. So I let him pick. Today he picked poetry as his first assignment for the day. I'll read him a number of poems. We read one poem a day as what our scheduled poetry reading is. However, just because the poems are so short, I usually read a week's worth and I just do it one day, and then the other days we'll look at the poetry book maybe, but I don't necessarily read them all again because that's just repetitive. And then I moved on to work on math with my daughter. So then we do some math, and generally during this time I have my other kids will be doing some reading or writing in another part of the room. I find that certain subjects require a lot more hands-on attention. My kids aren't the kind of kids that just go off and do it on their own. Certain subjects they can do that, but we do a lot of hands-on school work. I'm generally teaching my children from about 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on and off. Obviously we break for lunch and they have little breaks in between, but that's kind of our general school time hours is from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So next we're working on some math. While my daughter is working on her math, my son is doing his own. So the way that Sunlight has their schedule set up is he marks off the ones that he does each day as he does them, and then he can see what he has next to do. There's also a parent section for me to have notes on his assignments. However, he is capable of marking off what he's done and going and finding his next book. So after we've done that, it's probably now about 9:15, 9:30, and I am now working with my youngest on working on his math skills. We use a lot of the patterns to work on the math skills. I'm going to also be reading out loud to my son, my first grader, while my kindergartner is working on his pattern building. So now that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm reading out loud a little bit of Charlotte's Web to my first grader, and everybody in the house can hear me, which I like that all the kids can listen if they want, but it's specifically my first grader's assignment, so he listens and he gets asked questions on his book that he read, although a lot of times all the kids kind of chip in with their feedback. But meanwhile, my kindergartner is doing his patterns, and my third grade daughter is at her table doing her assignment. One of the things I like about our homeschool routine is that our room is very open, and so while I can sit there and do school, I can we kind of are working simultaneously. We're all kind of working together, and I'm focusing on different kids at different times. So I know a lot of people have homeschool rooms. We don't do that. We just keep everybody in the same room. Obviously they'll go upstairs to read or something if they want some quiet time. And sometimes if it's, too hard to focus, we'll go outside. But generally speaking, we're all kind of working in the same general area throughout the day. So my daughter's doing her math. My son is working on his chores and on his school. This is my teacher's guide. Oh my goodness, my teacher's guide. So in the back of the teacher's guide, Sunlight has all of they have discussion questions for each chapter that we read. So we have discussions. I know we got to learn about spiders because we're reading Charlotte's Web. So it was talking about the different body parts of spiders, and that was really fun. And then he got asked questions just to kind of help spark interest. I remember this particular question was, are you more like Templeton or more like Charlotte? And it was just kind of funny hearing his responses. I love reading to the kids and then asking them about their what they think about the story. So after that, I move on to Wordly Wise. So Wordly Wise is our vocabulary words, and usually I will read these out loud to my daughter, and then she will go and sit down and answer the questions because she can answer them on her own. But I like to read them out loud and just really make sure that she does understand all of her vocabulary words before she goes down and does more of the worksheet works on her own. By now it's 10:30 and I am reading to my son. We read generally about a chapter a day, each book a little bit more, but Sunlight has their schedule really clear. Like I said, every day is written out. I know exactly how much I'm supposed to read. I know, and then I have study questions. We have maps that show exactly where they are, which I love, just bringing it about. We actually now use multiple maps so that my kids can see up close where they are, but also then like the bigger picture of where that is in the world. I like doing that. I like using multiple maps to kind of show. And just a side note, this is a really fun story. Murder for Her Majesty, a really fun read, so definitely recommend that book. Sunlight chooses really, really great books. 11:15, we are making lunch. So generally, I'll either do leftovers for lunch or something super simple like burritos or spaghetti for lunch. I don't do a lot of like sandwiches. It's just a lot of kids to go through that much bread. I know I only have 4 children and other people have a lot bigger families, but I mean, if I make sandwiches for 6 people, it's like practically a loaf a day. So I generally do something like burritos or spaghetti, like I said. And today it's burritos. I use organic raw burritos from Costco. Have to recommend those because they're really delicious. And then we're sitting down and eating our lunch. And then straight after lunch, it's back to school. And the reason I do this is because I feel like the kids, if they can just focus and get all their school done earlier on in the day, it is just so much more productive. Waiting until the afternoon is no bueno. So here's my daughter doing her language arts, and then my kindergartner is doing his math, my 7th grader is doing his language arts, and then I'm going to be playing Go Fish with my 1st grader. So Sunlight comes with Go Fish cards. We actually ended up just playing the regular kind of Go Fish because I couldn't find the Go Fish cards, and I'd already promised him a game of Go Fish. So we played Go Fish, and it's still really good because it's still teaching him his numbers, so that works out great. So right after lunch, here we are playing Go Fish together. He's so much fun. We had a really good time. I like incorporating games into our learning because, first of all, I mean, they generally are having a good time playing games, and secondly, they don't even feel like they're learning, but it is still teaching. So we do some more school, we do some more math. So this is kind of like the final and the wrap up for the day, I would say, is this final bit of school. My daughter's doing her writing, and it's all very sporadic. I would say really the point of this video is to show you that you can totally mix it up. You can do all kinds of different things. You can have it really super organized where you do specific lessons at specific times, or you can do it like me and just kind of generally have each subject done, at the time when it suits you. However, we are still organized in that we mark off everything that we do as we do it. I just don't make it be at a specific time each day. After we're done playing our games for the day and getting everybody's school done for the day, I will often go outside to let the kids play. By this time, I have some more work I need to accomplish. I generally work 3 to 5 hours a day, so I have another hour and a half I need to do in the afternoon, and then maybe again in the evenings. And then after I have got some more work done, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, I usually put down my work and just spend some time playing with the kids throughout the afternoon. I hope you liked today's video. I know it's a little different than the other kinds of videos I have made in the past. Let me know if you like the vlog style or if there's a way I can make it better, since that is my very first vlog I have ever done, and oh my goodness, it was a lot harder than I anticipated. It's really hard to capture your whole day. Anyway, give me some feedback on how you guys do your morning routine and if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future.